What's up, everybody? I'm Lockouts, and in this video, we've got them, guys. We just picked up two boxes, 3 packs each of the Corsair SP120 RGB. They are IQ supported, and we have already an H100i Pro RGB AIO that is on our AORS Master motherboard, and we have 12 fans that are in here right now. This is a 6-pack right here, so we are only halfway to achieving full matching fans that is in our computer right now. The reason being is because this is all that they had on sale today. It is actually Christmas Eve when I picked these up. I'm surprised that these were actually on the shelf. They weren't on the shelf yesterday. They were on the shelf today when I was in Best Buy. It's only a couple blocks up from my street. So we're going to open these up and we're going to see exactly what's in these boxes. Check this out.
Won't you do a favor for me? Take your mouse and click the button. Won't you subscribe to me? Lockouts providing the content that you see. I'm visually stimulating your mind 1 minute at a time.
Alright guys, so here's a view of the outside of the box. This is your front, the sides, and the back. And in order to get this open, there is a little tab that's right here. Pop that open, pop the tab out. We can get it out. And in the top of the box, there's a small yellow box, your instruction manual, and then the fans itself. And nothing else. So your instruction manual, lots of different languages. Basically, you only need 1 page. It's number 1, it's for English. That's it. Just tells you how to connect it. And in your box right here, you have the lighting node core, and this one here will connect to your SATA power and an open available USB port that is on your motherboard. You can just plug this in. It's usually located on the bottom of your motherboard down in here. And it also comes with 8 screws, or I'm sorry, 12 screws, 4 for each fan. A waste electrical, something, and some stuff that I can't read here that is in a different language. And that's it, that's in there. Inside of the fans, they are packaged just like this. So obviously, you know, Corsair packaging, it's going to be overkill. The one thing that I didn't like about these fans were they are 3-pin. So you have a 3-pin, and then it has the standard Corsair RGB plug right here. So this is going to be the OEM control plug, and this will plug into the lighting node core right here. And you have to do this in sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that you don't break the actual chain of command that's in here. So this right here will go to your RGB hub, and then this right here actually goes to your motherboard. So your motherboard will control the PWM. Now, if you have a lighting node core, if you have a Command Pro, that will you can control the fan speed from the lighting node, or again, the Command Pro. So that's what you need the Command Pro for, is to get PWM control, and you can control LEDs and PWM for up to 6 fans. So the build quality, there is no shock absorbers that are right here on the corners. So it looks like it's going to be a plastic to metal mount. There is no anti-vibration pads. Sadly, I didn't even know that. I thought that they had anti-vibration skid pads. The screw hole itself actually has a little bit of a recess so that the screw will sit flush down inside of it, which is a very nice little feature. Something that you don't see on all of the fans. For some reason, they only have that on the front though, and not on the back. Now the overall feel, they are light. They're not as heavy as the deep cool fans that are in here. The deep cool fans have a little bit sturdier of a weight, and they have an anti-vibration shock absorber pad that is right here. Again, they are only 12 volt and they are not addressable. They only have, I think it's 6 LEDs that are in these fans that you guys see that are up here. So the one that's down here in the corner, it's in the bottom, that is a Cooler Master ML120. That one has 4 LEDs that's in it. The one that's above it, and the Cooler Master only has a clear blade. It's not frosted like this. The Deep Cool fan is frosted white blade, and it has 6 LEDs, and they are only 12 volt, which means that they are not ARGB. 5 volt is ARGB, which means that you could have lighting stuff that goes around and chases it around the light and stuff like this. 12 volt RGB will only just glow one standard color, and you can get like a breathing effect, you can get like a blinking effect, you can get lower, cheaper end effects, but you'll still get a lighting effect of RGB. ARGB is the addressable kind, where you could actually, you know, create the cool stunning effects. And if you had like outer loop or outer rings on your fans, you would have like an inner ring and an outer ring effect, and you know, etc, etc, etc. So moving on to these, what do I think about them so far? For the price of them, I paid $100, which is about $30 a fan, and you get a lighting node with it. I can't complain. I want to see how much brighter these are, fans that are in the case right now. So I want to see how much brighter that these are with 8 LEDs that are addressable versus a 6 LED and a 4 LED, a 6 LED on a frosted white blade and a 4 LED on a clear blade. So that you guys can see that. And then this is a 12 volt non-addressable RGB strip that goes up at the sides of my case right here. All right, you can see the splitter that I used here to hook up. This is just for the Cooler Master fans. There is 1, 2, 3, there's 4 Cooler Master fans, so I had to split it, a 3-way splitter into another splitter, just because the Cooler Master fans have their own proprietary hookup, and this is what it looks like for the Cooler Master fans. So we took the 3, and then we split it again into another 3, and we only had 4 of these actually hooked up. 2 of these weren't hooked up to anything. This is what we needed to hook into the 4 Cooler Master fans. And then in the end here, there's just little pins that can pop out, and then you just put it right back into this one right here, and then you can just, you know, keep daisy chaining them along. It's recommended that you only go about 5 on one 12-volt header, though. 5 RGB fans for one 12-volt header. And this is just a little 4-port from Deep Cool. This is a 4-port fan hub right here. You have your main fan that goes in right here. This connects to your board, and then you're able to split 4 connections and get 4 fans to run at the same identical speed right here through this. This motherboard has 9 fan headers on it though, so I don't necessarily have to use these. I was just testing stuff with these other fans, because it took a lot to be able to mix Deep Cool fans with Cooler Master fans, and then have a Corsair AIO. So just simplifying all this and getting rid of it and going strictly Corsair, which was my goal in the first place, is to hopefully get rid of a lot of these wires also. As you can see, there's a lot of wires that are in here that we're trying to manage right now, without them being a jumbled mess, and keeping control of them and knowing where everything is, because I'm one of those guys that I'll be sitting there looking at my computer, and you know, out of the blink of nowhere, I will start ripping it apart. And this is another fan control hub. It's another one from Deep Cool, and this one again has 4 fan hubs on it, and it does 1, 2, 3, 4. This connects to your board. 4 fan speeds control at the same fan speed from just this one adapter that goes to your board. We're going to try to simplify that and get rid of those though. So you can see the frosted blade versus the clear blade here. Frosted blade, clear blade. That's why these fans aren't that bright, these Cooler Master ML120s, due to the fact they have a limited amount of LEDs that are in them. And if this fan had frosted blades on it, it would do a lot better for diffusing the light more evenly and more brighter across the fan blades. But this is the 3rd computer that these fans have been in. These are going to go back in this computer now. And this is what the Deep Cool fan looks like. Now the difference being with the Deep Cool fan having the shock absorber pad right here versus the Cooler Masters SP120s not having this, is because all the money went into Cooler Masters lights and their fan blade. This one here didn't put as much money into their lights and their fan blade as they did putting shock absorber pads on here. If this fan didn't actually have this, this might have been an addressable ARGB fan from Deep Cool that they could have supplied. But for the amount of money, I think I paid $60 for 5 of these, and they came with a fan splitter hub, and they just plugged right into my board, and I had no problem with this fan working with Asus or a Sync, or with Gigabyte Fusion picking it up either. And this is the difference here between the Cooler Master ML120 fans. You can see that they're more of a rounded fan casing housing versus the squared off design. Cooler Master ML fans also do not offer any rubber shock absorber mount pads or anything like that that's here. These are not high static pressure fans from Cooler Master. Also, you can see the difference in the fan blade design versus this versus the Corsair fan right here. So you have the Corsair fan, you have the Deep Cool fan, and then you have the Cooler Master ML120. You can see how much more vibrant of a frosted blade that Cooler Master has versus Deep Cool putting into the frostedness of their blade, and then Cooler Master putting it actually just not even worrying about it and going with a clear blade design. So at the end of the day, guys, it is a noticeable upgrade. I can't wait to get the other 4 of them to match. Unfortunately, though, I am going to need a Commander Pro because with a Lighting Node Pro core, you can only run 6 fans off the RGB, and you can't sync 2 of them together because I have an AIO and I also have a Lighting Node core that is both taking up both of my USB 2.0 ports that Corsair software needs to be plugged into. So I need to get a Commander Pro to plug these two these two IO ports, or the USB 2.0 ports for the IO into the Commander Pro, and then I could run 4 more RGB lights. Plus I'll get PWM control from Corsair instead of having to do everything off my motherboard or use speed fan to control my the speed of my fans necessarily. So there's all kinds of different lighting effects and all kinds of different stuff. The point about this was to get the same amount of airflow going from the same fans in the bottom, in the side, and then in the top. That way you have almost a neutral pressure or a positive pressure, because you don't want to have a negative pressure in your fan in your case. A negative pressure in your case is going to cause it to suck air in from any crevice or crack that it'll possibly get air from. So having a positive pressure case means that it's going to push more air in than it's going to expel, and it's going to be cooler air. It's going to take longer for it to heat up inside of the case, and then your other fans that are exhaust fans will, drag it out of the case as it gets a hold of it. So I think it's great. Again, I can't wait to get them all to match, but I think that it's wonderful. These are the Pro Elites, so there is 8 RGBs that's in these, and there's tons and tons of effects. Again, for this case, I would have got the QLs, but you would have never seen the ring that was on the front side of them from these 6 fans. These ones up here, I might do a QL because you can mix and match the SP and the QL fans together. So I might get the QL fans for the top for a ring that's up there. If this has helped you guys out and you guys enjoyed this video, do all the things to help me out. Smash all the little buttons. Like, follow, subscribe. I'm Lockouts. Peace.
Won't you do a favor for me? Take your mouse and click the button. Won't you subscribe to me? Lockouts providing the content that you see. I'm visually stimulating your mind 1 minute at a time.